Hello and welcome to the explanation of Nullifier, updated for 734B. I'm SlashStrike and I'll be explaining how this item works. Although it's more popular now than it used to be, plenty of people still aren't exactly clear on what it does, how to use it, when to use it, how to play against it. So I'll be showing that now. So Nullifier, as we can read, dispels the target and applies a debuff for 5 seconds that continuously dispels the target. So first of all, dispelling the target means removing buffs, right? Removing things that are beneficial to the enemy. In most cases, defensive buffs. All the items you can see here get removed by Nullifier. Removed, dispelled, basically the same thing. But what does it mean to continuously dispel them? It means that they not only get dispelled initially when you cast the item and the projectile connects, but for the full 5 seconds, any new buff will also get dispelled. So it actually applies a dispel every 0.2 seconds. That's 5 times per second for the full 5 seconds. Means a total of 25 dispels for those that are counting. So let's demonstrate that. You're playing a carry, you want to hit the enemy, but there's just so many things. They go invisible with Glimmer, they push themselves, they ult themselves, they pop Gold Scepter, Aeon Discs trigger, Crimson Guard buffs, and in this case, Wind Ranger uses her Wind Run to dodge everything. Nullifier takes care of all of that, right? So we shoot the Nullifier, she cannot Wind Run, cannot push herself, cannot Gold Scepter, cannot Glimmer. Right, the Crimson Guard buff will also get dispelled, and if Aeon Disc triggers, that's gonna get dispelled as well. Let's give our PA a little bit more damage so that it's gonna trigger the Aeon Disc quicker. And here's the cool thing where the continuous dispelling kicks in. You don't need to wait for the Aeon Disc to pop, you just put it on in advance. And the moment the Aeon Disc pops, it's gonna get dispelled because Nullifier continuously dispels, as we mentioned. So we throw out the Nullifier and jump on the Wind Ranger. Crimson Guard gone, and this, as you can see, it triggers, but then it gets removed right away. So that's how you remove buffs with Nullifier. And what got changed in the latest patch? Basically, it no longer pierces debuff immunity. It used to go through BKB, in other words, BKB, Lifestealer's Rage, Jugger's Spin. Used to go through all that, but now it doesn't. So Black King Bar gets added to the short list of items that can help you deal with Nullifier. More on that in a little bit. But yeah, just to demonstrate, you can still target, but it's not gonna work. Alright, so when Ranger pops BKB, throw the Nullifier, does nothing. She's still able to force staff freely. And she's still able to Wind Run, of course. Let's show that as well. Can't hit her, as you can see. Now, that's the most common use of Nullifier, as I mentioned, to remove defensive buffs, but it can also be used to remove buffs that make the enemy stronger. Bloodseeker is a great example. Hits very... well, it doesn't hit at all, basically, without his Q. Unless the Maelstrom triggers 3 times in a row. But if he gives himself the Blood Rage, that obviously is a ton of attack speed and makes him a hell of a lot stronger. If he has teammates that can buff him as well, he can become impossible to man-fight, right? Bloodseeker with Empower, Frost Shield running at you, no chance. But then you just press Nullifier and all those buffs are gone. No bonus damage, no attack speed, no bonus damage reduction. So Nullifier really makes it hard for some carries to fight you. Ursa is another good example. As you all know, heavily counts on Overpower, but you just nullify that guy and no Overpower, no attack speed for you. So that's all the offensive buffs for any team that can be removed by Nullifier as well. Worth noting that it's a projectile, it's not instant like other items, so it does have some travel time, and this makes it dodgeable. For example, if the enemy has a blink and you're using it from very far away, they can blink and disjoint it. It's one of the ways to potentially deal with it. However, it's not very effective versus the best Nullifier users, which are heroes like PA and Ricky, can close the gap, right? Especially if it's an invisible Ricky jumping you, your blink is gonna be cancelled before you know what's happening, so blink is not a great answer. Now you might think, okay, there's the Lincolns, but Lincolns, as you know, can be broken in many ways, and again, both these heroes don't really care too much. PA can first break the Lincolns with a dagger, then jump and nullify you. Ricky has 2 charges on his blink strike, so he can simply blink twice. And again, doesn't care about your Lincolns. So if Lincolns is not a great option and you don't want to press BKB every time you nullify it, that leaves us with one last option that you have for dealing with Nullifier, especially if you're a support, struggling, getting focused by the enemy Nullifier carry all the time. Shadowbait is the item. Shadowblade invisibility does not get removed by Nullifier. Here's the demonstration. Boom, Wind Ranger is invisible. And this forces the enemy carry with Nullifier to also have dust. And as we all know, carries farm the fastest, they will get 6 slotted. They're all gonna have slots for dust. So this makes Shadowbait quite effective. And if you press it in time, you can actually also disjoint the Nullifier altogether. Oops, it was a bit slow there. Basically, if you go invisible before it connects, then you're not gonna get hit by it at all. But even if you do get surprised by a Ricky or whatever, right, he jumps you, presses the Nullifier. Oh no, I can't win run. Well, you can just Shadowbait and get out of there. So Shadowbait, although it might sound weird to buy this item on a support, sometimes that might just be your best option. Right? Better to get an unusual item than just die every single fight and feed. Alright guys, this was the explanation for Nullifier. Hope you found this useful. This video is actually complementary to an infographic image that I made. You can see that in the description. The link there, you can also see other infographics that I've made. You can also choose to support me by buying me a coffee. I love coffee, it gives me the energy and the concentration to make cool content like this for you guys. And lastly, make sure to also join my Discord, SlashStrike.com, just write that. It's going to take you straight to my Discord. I also post all the content there. And you can get in touch with me, you can even message me there if you want. I also offer coaching, but all that stuff is going to be linked in the description as well. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed.